Thank you again for joining this morning. Today is October 29th, and we're going to be introducing InstaBrain Term. So what is InstaBrain Term? First of all, it is a non-med term policy with no APS. It has a guaranteed instant decision, and it has absolutely hands down the best chronic illness writer in the industry on a life insurance policy. So again, thank you for joining us. And of course, something of interest to you is the 120% commission. Again, my name is Joe Rasich, Chief Marketing Officer. Also like to introduce Matheos Hollis. He is our InstaBrain sales representative. He will be contacting you on a regular basis. So again, welcome, Matheos, and we'll get started. So InstaBrain is a term life system. It also is a term policy, but InstaBrain is a system that is taking the industry by storm. And we're going to go over it briefly. And again, the key to this particular product and most products that are going to be on this platform is that it is a guaranteed instant decision. It's not going to just say it's an instant decision and then refer to the underwriter, request medical records, even in some cases, an exam. At the end of the application process, you and your client will know exactly where they stand with this program. All right, what are we going to cover today in this session? All right, so we're going to talk about who is visionary for those of you who may not have heard of us. We're going to talk about, just another term product. How boring can we get, right, in this industry? Another term product, but wait, I guarantee you this will be somewhat exciting. We're going to talk about what I have found over the 40 years that I've been in this business. What is C, C, and E? We're going to talk about commissions. We're going to talk about how policy fees are very dangerous to your pocketbook unless you're selling InstaBrain Term. We're going to talk about some of the unique features of this product, what is special about this InstaBrain Term plan, what makes InstaBrain different, and we're going to talk about briefly the contracting process, how to register once you're approved, how to register on the what happens to get connected to the InstaBrain platform, and a few additional products that are going to be on InstaBrain, and who is visionary. So again, my name is Joe Rasich. I've been in this business for, over 40 years. We have about over 100 years of life insurance experience from people in our office. So I started a company called Brokers Alliance back in 1981. Brokers Alliance is still a national marketing company run by my son, David. That's an excellent plan. And they actually are the ones who created and invented InstaBrain. So I'd would be remiss if I didn't send some accolades their way. Currently, Visionary is a national marketing organization offering unique products to agents in all 50 states. So again, like I said, we need another term product in this industry, right? There's plenty of them, but InstaBrain is unique. And again, I always would say, hey, we need another term product in this industry like we need a hole in our head. But again, this one is different, as I mentioned. First of all, it has the best insurance technology for both you and the client. And I had a question on the last webinar. Once an agent like yourselves are appointed and are registered in the platform, can you actually take the link, put it on your website, or send it to a client, the link to apply for life insurance? So yes, you In most cases, you will be involved in the sale. But in some cases, if you want your client to just go ahead and quote and apply for themselves, they can do it. And of course, you get the credit. This is truly a non-med product with an instant decision up to $1 million based on age. We'll go over that a little bit. You're all going to get information if you haven't already received the underwriting agent underwriting guide with all the specifics in there. And again, it's important, but not necessarily exciting. But again, instant decision. It has a very easy online app process directed by you, and I said, or the client can complete on their own. The brain is what I really love because while you're filling out the application, you can actually see in real time what rate class your client can get approved for, or in some cases not approved for. So it actually will change. So if you start out at preferred and maybe the client height and weight is different, they smoke, it will actually show you what the new pricing and the rate class is right before your eyes. That allows you as the agent to make adjustments to the rate class, well, not the rate class, but the face amount and the term length. So again, it's instant decision. When you look at this product, as far as i.e. other products in its class, such as what they call instant decision or products with living benefits, we are very competitive against those other platforms. But we're also competitive against other traditional term products with living benefits. So are we going to be the cheapest? I'm going to tell you right up front, no, we're not going to be the cheapest, but we're going to be very competitive. The rates are guaranteed for 10, 15, 20, and 30-year level term. We use current age pricing, so you don't have to sit there and figure out if they're going to be 6 months closer to their next birthday. You don't have to mess with that. If you wrote the app today and they have a birthday tomorrow, you saved a year. It, unlike other term products, competitive term products, has a commissionable policy fee. We're going to talk about this. This product is available in all states except New York and Wyoming. There's one other caveat here. This product is approved in California. For you California agents, you probably know that they are a bit slow in getting living benefits approved in that state. So what happens is if you write a case in California, as soon as that living benefit gets approved, they're going to go back and add that to your policy. So they're not going to have a policy without that living benefits. It's just until California gets that done, it'll just be a term policy. Again, eye-popping commissions now with daily commissions. You know, cash flow in this business is important. And typically within 48 hours, depending upon how your client paid for it, if it was a credit card or a bank draft from a checking account, sometimes that bank draft can take a couple of days to clear. So within 48 hours, you wrote a case, you're going to get paid. And it has the best, absolute best chronic illness rider in the industry for paying benefits. You have to hear this. It is absolutely amazing. This product is underwritten through Fidelity, a life insurance company. They were founded in 1896. Been around for a while. Okay, I mentioned CCE is what agents like. Again, I've been in this business longer than I want to admit. And over those years, there are three things that I realized that a client or an agent likes today. Number one, they want to be able to offer their client a competitive product, competitive premium. Is it always going to be the cheapest? No, because premiums with these carriers, it's a dart throw. One day the product is competitive, the next day some other carrier reduced their rates by a penny just so they could show up higher in the food chain of uh, the quote engines. Commissions. Commissions are very important, right? How do you feed your family? How do you get pay those bills? So commissions are important. And more often than not today, how easy is it to, number one, take an application? How fast is it to find out if your client is approved or not? With InstaBrain, you're going to know immediately the day that you're taking that application uh, of where your client fits. An InstaBrain term has all three of these. They're competitive premiums, high commissions, and it is very easy to complete the app for you and your client. So let's go get right to the point and answer some questions. Commissions on a competitive term plan. Okay, other competitive carriers offer commissions between 75% and 100%, depending upon the plan. There's plans out there that are written at table 4. Even if the person's healthy, they're going to be putting almost 100% more premium onto that. And yeah, they'll pay a commission, but you could write so much more life insurance with InstaBrain and get paid very, very well. So let's talk about InstaBrain commissions, which you probably already saw. On a 20 and 30-year term, you get 120% commission, including the policy fee, and commissions are paid daily. 115 for a 15-year term and 110% for a 10-year term. Can you get annualization? Yes, you can. Fidelity offers a 50% annualization program. Again, as long as you have been a good human and you don't have a vector or carry any carrier debt, or you haven't, created a huge credit card debt, you should be fine to get approved. If you don't get approved, you could always sell it as earned. And again, the company Fidelity Life is rated excellent by AM Best. They're an A- company, again, formed in 1896. And is it competitive? And again, when you compare InstaBrain to other products in its class, we're very competitive. Let's just talk real quick. I'm going to show you this. I built this. I really thought this was kind of cool. So I'm going to show you right away how this thing works. I put in some of the top carriers in the country today. All right. Here's Fidelity, InstaBrain, Corebridge, which is AIG. Their product is Select a Term. Banner, I'm going to pick on Banner a little bit because they're always fighting to be number one on those spreadsheets. Their Op-Term product, Protective Life, Classic Choice, Pac Life. Banner has another product through another distribution system called Ethos. And I saw a lot of agents are selling Ethos. And again, Ethos is a great platform. Banner's a great company. But you, as an agent, don't own the client. Ethos owns the client. And these comparisons, which I used a 50-year-old non-tobacco standard for a $500,000 30-year term. I did this on CompuLife yesterday. And here we go. Corebridge, again, eked out number one. So they're at $234.91 a month. Fidelity's at $235.34. Again, pretty close, except for this Ethos Banner. They're a little bit more expensive, but everybody else is within $1 or $2 for the most part. So I took the annual premiums and then subtracted out, if needed, to figure out what the commission is, the policy fee. So again, Ethos has a $90 policy fee. Banner Direct Op-Term does. $65 for Protective, $64 for Corebridge, non-commissionable. Then I figured out what that premium was and I applied a commission level. So again, with Fidelity, you're going to earn 120% commission on a very competitive product. In this comparison, we're only less than $1 more expensive per month. You're going to earn $3,388.90 if you happen to write this case. With CoreBridge, you're going to earn at 2754.92 a year. At 80%, you're going to earn $2,203.94. And that's $1,184 less than what you would have earned selling Fidelity for pennies a month. Now, you say, well, I get 85% commission on this. I don't know what you get. So if I figured 85%, it does change, but you're still making $1,000 more commission on doing the exact same thing, taking an application on a very competitive product. Now, CoreBridge, Banner, Protective, Pac Life, and Ethos Banner, none of those have the chronic illness living benefit rider. So is there a cost to that chronic illness benefit rider? Yes, there is. All right. So I thought that was kind of cool. I talked about the policy fee. The policy fee, it can cost you commission dollars. So let's take an example of a male age 45, that's, very healthy, preferred plus, needed $150,000 for 20 years. So Banner's premium is $221.55. Again, remember I talked about nearest age and current age. So we're still at 45, regardless, with InstaBrain. A Banner Ethos is $286.74. They also sell if you're closer to your next birthday, right? Half the population is closer to the next birthday. It's even more expensive. Fidelity InstaBrain, IB InstaBrain stays the same, $267.50 a month. Current age is 45, same price. So if you look at Banner, which I said they're a great company, I'm picking on them, have a $90.90 non-commissionable policy fee. And again, Banner products, they reserve the option of waiving the underwriting. They don't guarantee it. InstaBrain guarantees it. So let's look at Fidelity again at $267. They have a $95 commissionable policy fee. They offer instant decision guaranteed. They have a chronic illness rider included in the rates where the others don't. Commission example for Banner, if you took the $221, subtract the $90, it's $131.55. I used 85% commission example, and you are going to earn $111.82 for that case. Fidelity InstaBrain is $267 at 120%, fully commissionable. You're going to earn $321 for that particular example. And again, Fidelity has, the InstaBrain has the chronic illness rider. So the monthly difference between Fidelity and the Banner op term is $4.44 a month. Is there a cost? That $4.44 is really inexpensive if you're looking at a chronic illness rider, which is like a long-term care program. And you earn 287% more commission. So you're going to earn $209 additional commission. Okay. And again, the $4.44, client gets the chronic illness rider. So again, if you don't get paid commission on that policy fee for those smaller face amounts, basically $250,000 and under, the higher the face amount, you're still going to be better off with Fidelity, but because of the higher premiums on those higher face amounts, it's not that much. There'll be some difference, but not a whole lot. So I just want to let you know that. Okay. I talked about a benefit that InstaBrain has with the chronic illness rider, second to none. So again, best way to explain it is to demonstrate it. So we talked about that 50-year-old when I did that comparison. This 50-year-old has a $500,000 30-year term with InstaBrain. and he's paying, it's not an industry low cost any longer. As I mentioned, AIG Corebridge eked it out by less than 50 cents a month. InstaBrain includes both the traditional terminal illness rider, which so does the other carriers, but it has the chronic illness rider. So let's think about that 50-year-old 10 years from now, right? He paid that extra 50 cents in that example a month. 10 years later, the client, he's sick. Client says that he can no longer perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, which basically is the definition of long-term care event. All right, so he can no longer perform any of the 2 of the 6 activities of the daily living. Fidelity Life is going to pay that client 50% of the death benefit up to $250,000 or $250,000. You still with me? It gets better. That's the definition of long-term care. Unlike most long-term care policies, with InstaBrain, there is no 90-day wait, and there are no fees to process the claim. Again, a lot of carriers make the client wait 90 days before they'll look at that or pay on a claim. There's none with InstaBrain. And oftentimes you'll see $250, $350, $500 the carrier will charge just to process that chronic illness benefit. So unlike any other chronic illness rider, InstaBrain keeps the other $250,000 in force for the client. Remember, he bought a $500,000 policy. He got paid $250,000, and he keeps the other $250,000 in force for the client. Most carriers will only give you maybe 10% of the face amount, and you have to pay for it. So that $250,000 is in force for your client, and it is paid up for the rest of the term period of 20 years. Remember, he was 50. He had the long-term care event at age 60. He had a 30-year term. That leaves 20 years left. Your client keeps $250,000 of life insurance in force for that client, paid up. No premiums are due. This is where you have to sell this to a client. They'll understand the power of this. The other products don't offer this. So we want you to be, and I'm going to say this a lot, we want you to be a salesperson, not an order taker, and just, try to sell the cheapest, lowest cost premium. There is a cost to having an instant decision. There's a cost to not having a medical exam from an underwriting standpoint, okay? And there's a cost for adding a living benefit. So the client receives $250 in cash, has the other $250 in life insurance that's paid up. And as I said, the rest of the death benefit is still in force with no other premiums to the client. And there is even more. InstaBrain added an additional 5 years of coverage at the end of that term period, be it a 10-year or a 30-year. Therefore, that $250 is going to stay in force if the client's still alive, okay, for 25 years. And in this example, he bought at age 50, he bought a paid up term policy to age 85 in the event that he had a long-term care event. Okay, now there is an option. So just to let you know, that $250,000 could be paid out monthly. That's $6,944 per month for 3 years. That's 36 months. Do the math. It's $250,000. So they would get paid. Again, there's no receipts. The money goes to them to do whatever they want to do. They could take a trip around the world. They could buy a new car. They could take a vacation. Doesn't make any difference what they do with that money. They could pay for help for their long-term care event. Or they could take a lump sum upfront, time value of money of $230,000 all upfront. Again, your client has that choice. All right, so commissions are paid directly by Fidelity Life, 120%. We would like you, of course, to submit an InstaBrain application within the first 60 days after registering. There's no hurry. If you don't have a client, if you have a client and you know you're going to write this, please go ahead, get contracted, register, be ready, practice on the form. Because again, we have a preferred plus category with InstaBrain. We have a preferred rate. We have a standard issue rate. We have a preferred smoker rate, and we have a table rate. Okay, standard or table rated 4 available for your client. But in all honesty, it's for your standard or better clients. All right, average client. We're not looking for people who just had cancer or had a heart attack or is on dialysis or, no, this isn't for that because it is non-med, but it's still underwritten. All right. So again, at Visionary, we have a lot of carriers who are more aggressive. Just come to us. If it's not going to fit InstaBrain, we'll try to find something else for you. Know that the client must have a social security number. Can't have an illegal buying this. And at the time that you take the application, because it's online and it's pretty easy, the insured must also be the owner at the time of the application. After the policy is in force, then the insured could do whatever they want to do. They could change beneficiaries. They could change who the owner is. It's just at the time that they're buying it, they have to be the insured has to be the owner. And again, be a salesperson, not an order taker. That number one, getting paid commission on a policy fee for lower face amounts, $250 and under, is phenomenal. It also, for a small amount of money, we might not be the cheapest, but we're offering that living benefit chronic illness rider. So there is an underwriting guide that you'll receive. All right. And I'm not going to go through this, but this is soup to nuts what you can, read when you're bored. If you're having a hard time falling asleep, just start reading this. Again, here's the rate classes, the commissionable policy fee. All of this is available to you when you want. All right. Also, you're going to have access to, once you get appointed, you're going to get access to your own personal website. So again, this is my demo site. So again, you've got what I'm talking about right now. It's InstaBrain Term with living benefits. We just now introduced InstaBrain Pure Term. It's less expensive than InstaBrain. So if you have a really young client who doesn't think about long-term care, just wants a lower cost, same comp, same 120% commission. Only difference is the commission. The policy fee is not commissionable. So this is brand new. We have an accidental death plan. If you want to sell accidental death, it's all on this platform. If you want to sell a guaranteed issue plan, 50 to 85 up to $25,000 with Fidelity, it's all on the program. Again, daily commissions. So, there's a quoter, you can load prospects, you could have a list of applications, everything that you could think of, resources, which is kind of cool. So if you're in marketing and here's social media, we provide you with all kinds of social media advertisements for you to use to attract agents or attract clients to you. So again, InstaBrain is wonderful, and it answers a lot of questions and helps you out a lot. Okay. InstaBrain has a quick quoter, so you'll all have access to this. We're going to send it to you. So, you just pick a state, say Arizona, current age. Oops. Which is not working for me right now. We'll just put in 45, male. All right. The smoker, non-smoker, rate class. You want to see a standard rate class. $43.94. All right. And when you're in your platform, you could go right to the application. That's how easy it is. You'll get all, if you have CompuLife, Best Plan Pro, FEX, if you have any of these, you subscribe to it, you can also get quotes for InstaBrain there. Now, we encourage all of you, and you'll have access to registering on our website. So you just would get access to everything that we have. There's agent registration. If you already registered, you would just log in and you could do a term and UL quote. You could do a final expense quote. We have this new immediate coverage, first day coverage up to 80,000, no health questions. So again, I'm going to briefly go through this. All right. You'll see here your name when you're registered in here. So again, you'll have access to everything that we have. Just want to let you know that, just kind of going, giving you a brief idea. Okay, jumping around here, aren't I? All right. So if you haven't gotten this already, you will. Let's get started. So that underwriting guide, you'll have access to that. You need a quote. You'll see your commission schedule. You get contracted here with Fidelity Life. We have consumer brochures. Again, triple digit commissions, 120% commission on 20 and 30-year level term. If you are a producer, again, commissions are the same. 20 and 30-year level term commissions are 120%. If you have agents underneath you, the commissions are the same. All right. The street commission is typically, ready for this, 100%. So you're making 20% more than the street commission of 100. So if you have downline agents, you could pay them whatever you want under your contract level. But we're looking for people who have downlines of 5 agents or more. I talked about some unique products. We have a guaranteed issue product, as I showed you from our visionary website. It's a guaranteed issue whole life policy. There is no underwriting, ladies and gentlemen. There are no health questions. It's available from ages 18 to 70, from 10,000 to 80,000. Unlike most guaranteed issue plans that have a 2 or 3 year waiting period, they have first day coverage, and it's unbelievably competitive. It's as competitive as a fully underwritten whole life policy. And this comes to you from an A+ rated carrier. This is available in 49 states, not in New York. So that's something you have to think about. Annuities, guaranteed issue, long-term care annuity, we have that available. All right, guaranteed issue, long-term care annuity. Your client cannot get denied for long-term care. And we have a MIGA, 3-year MIGA. It's currently paying 5.65%. Okay, so those are some of the things that we find our agents. We like to find unique products. Once you get appointed, right, you're going to get an invite to register for the InstaBrain website. So this is kind of what it looks like. And again, I'm going to leave this on here. And I failed to mention the fact that if you had some questions, you could have asked those questions in chat. And I do have some questions. So again, we'll go through this. So Matthias is going to be your contact. He is our national life sales consultant for InstaBrain. His phone number is toll free, and his extension is 480. Again, there is our website address, his fax number, his email address, and our address here in beautiful Fergus Falls, Minnesota. You can get a copy of the, we taped this, we recorded it. So yes, you can have a copy of that. Yes, there is a conversion option. And how long is the chargeback period for lapses? So if you're advanced 6 months and you got paid, let's say the payment went through the first month and you got paid 6 months in advance, but the second month it lapsed, you're going to owe 5 months. And it's going to deplete until, if it's in the 6 month they lapse, you'd only owe 1 month of commission back, chargeback, which is pretty good. Again, I'm going to leave this open for a while. You may have some other questions. You could chat them to me, or you can do the question and answer. I apologize. I should have mentioned that at the very beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been in this business a long time. Like I said, we needed another term product in this industry. There's plenty of good ones. They're all good. So again, we want you to take a serious look at this. We would love to work with you. Again, we have other products available for you as well, but InstaBrain is, the reception has been phenomenal. We had 160 agents sign up from our last webinar. And I haven't looked at this report yet, but it's going over great. So again, if you have any other questions, feel free to type them in. I'll leave this on here. You could get a hold of Matthios if need be. So again, thank you for your time today. I got it done in 40 minutes. That's a miracle for me, but I'm glad I got it done quickly. So again, thank you for your time. And I'm going to sign off, and I appreciate you joining us today.